one, boys.
It's windy.
And girls.
And look where we're at.
Black Spruce Brewing Company here in Fairbanks, Alaska. We're in Alaska. That's right. Surrounded by meese, which is the plural term for moose. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
I don't think so.
No.
Anyway, hey, it's raining, so cold and
fantastic.
Hey, it's time for a beer, and we're about to go in here and learn the story behind the brew at Black Spruce Brewing, right here in Fairbanks, Alaska. I'm excited. Subscribe, like, and let's get inside, Nick, and grab a beer.
Let's do it. Let's get out of the rain. We're gonna get to know each other, Lewis.
All right,
and
here we go.
We're rolling, baby.
Welcome to Behind the Brew, right here on Beverage Hunters. I'm Justin.
I'm Nick.
Carey.
Carey, what's going on, man?
My man.
Not too much, just hanging out.
Thank you so much for having us here. This is fantastic. We're in Fairbanks, Alaska, guys. So a little ways from home.
Little ways from home. Couple skip jumps on an airplane, and here we are.
Yeah, so we're up here doing something else, but hey, there was some breweries here that I didn't know were here last time I was here. So had to stop by, try some beer, and hopefully get to do what we're doing right now, learn some stories, man.
Yeah, we swung around a few places, grabbed some flights from all the places we went yesterday, and you know, talk to your staff, which was awesome. They were all super awesome.
They were so
good.
cool.
Super awesome. Yeah, I loved it.
Everybody got a great crew.
Nice. Yeah, you do. You really do. They were all really nice, very informative. Good time. The venue's awesome. This place is sweet, dude.
Yeah, very nice.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it. Look at that wall back there, by the way.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Super cool.
Awesome. Well, Carey, start by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I actually grew up here in Fairbanks, born and raised, and moved out of state for undergrad. I actually went down to Eugene, Oregon.
My man.
University of Oregon.
We're just south of there.
Yep, so I was there for 4 years, was studying chemistry, and had a buddy that was homebrewing.
Right
so
on.
Got into it, started reading more literature, like the Charlie Papazian homebrew books, and got really into the science side of everything.
Yeah.
Did an internship at Oakshire Brewing in Eugene,
right
in their
great brewery.
In their lab for about 3 months.
Is that where Devin was?
Yeah, with Bigfoot. So
He was one of those.
yeah.
We just met a brewer at another brewery who did the same, very similar.
Oh, cool.
He's like, yeah, I went to school in Eugene and I worked for, I want to say, hey, well, I don't think it was Oakshire though. I don't
It
remember
was
who it
somewhere very close to me.
But yeah, very, very similar.
Cool, awesome spot. Loved it down there.
Yes.
How long were you with them?
It was just like a 3-month internship.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just kind of got into the lab, did some yeast quality stuff for them, and then actually moved to Scotland for a year and did my master's in brewing and distilling at Carey University.
Oh, wow. How was Scotland? That sounds rad.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. Great experience. Obviously, very well known for their whiskey over there.
Yep.
So I hit a bunch of distilleries and just got immersed in. You know, all my classmates were there for the same reason, to learn about brewing and distilling, and still super close with a lot of them. Great resources to bounce ideas off.
Absolutely.
Of, ask questions and stuff. Moved back stateside. Was in Spokane, Washington for just under 3 years at No Lie Brew House.
Okay.
And that's actually where I met my wife. She got hired on as a sales rep. For No Lie. The way I remember it was all the sales reps have to have a brew day tour.
Sure.
Yeah. So I gave her one.
Oh, heck yeah,
I feel like I swooned her with my
Foot
brewing
in
knowledge.
the door,
but
baby.
she remembers a little differently.
Of course.
They always do, brother. They always do.
But yeah, we moved down to Flagstaff, Arizona for about a year and a half, and worked at a brewery called Mother Road Brewing down there. And then had the harebrained idea to move back up to Fairbanks and open up Black Spruce.
Do your own thing, huh?
Yep.
How old are you?
33.
Young boy. Okay, so we're close to the same age. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's quite the journey to get here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, all over the place, trying different places. What made you decide to do this thing here? I mean, you've been in all these places.
Yeah.
What made you want to, just hometown, just missing home? Or what made you want to do it in Fairbanks?
Well, I love Fairbanks.
Sure.
I think it's an awesome place. I mean, super close to the hills, you know, north of town, awesome recreational opportunities, great trails for the winter. You know, you're in Alaska, so you're pretty close to nature, 10 minutes in any direction, which is sweet.
Yeah.
My parents still live here. Got tons of friends here from growing up.
It just made sense.
Made sense, and then, you know, when we moved back, it was Hoodoo was open and Silver Gulch were open, and you know, Silver Gulch is out in Fox, little ways outside of town. Hoodoo was the only brewery like in the urban area.
Gotcha.
And so it made sense, great opportunity for opening up another little taproom brewery here in town. And
heck yeah.
And there's lots of visitors here. Very big destination.
Yep. Yeah.
We found out this week trying to find a rental car. You can't. So we got lucky with a van. That was the only one they had. So we're, you know, very popular destination for hunting this time of year.
Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, we were here yesterday, man. This place was packed.
Good.
So was Hoodoo. We went over to Hoodoo. That was packed. I was like, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So very cool spot, man. So how about the name Black Spruce? Where did that come from?
So Black Spruce is the most ubiquitous tree in the interior.
Okay.
So if you drive pretty much anywhere around town, in the kind of low-lying boggy areas, you'll see these kind of spindly-looking, craggly trees.
Okay.
Those are all Black Spruce.
Okay.
So you can kind of see in the mural, they're like all kind of twisted, like Dr. Seussy.
Yeah.
Was this like a local artist that did this or something?
Yeah. So this is a friend that I went to high school with, Clara Maish.
Well, killed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely sick.
Fantastic.
Yeah. She does an awesome job. Yeah. So we commissioned her when we first opened to.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's very good.
How long have you guys been open?
So this December will be our 5th year anniversary.
5 years?
5 years.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, how about the beer? How many beers do you guys currently brew year-round and keep on tap?
So year-round, we kind of have 4 mainstays.
Okay.
So Rhomadome, which is what we're drinking.
Delicious,
That's
by the
our
way.
flagship IPA, by and large our most popular. Then we have Short Days Golden Ale, light option, Vernal Buzz, milk stout with coffee and vanilla, and then we do Wow Real Fruit, which is like a heavily fruited sour.
Okay. I think we tried that yesterday. Fantastic.
Yeah, we've got the
good.
blackberry, blueberry, apricot on right now.
Wow.
And so each batch or two, kind of depending on the season, will change fruits in there.
Swap the fruit out. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So yeah, we keep those on year-round as much as we can. And then everything else is pretty much changing. We usually have a hazy double on that's always different hops in it. The double cold IPA was the first time we've done one of these before.
Nice.
Yeah, do a handful of lagers and yeah, all sorts. But yeah, everything else is constantly changing.
Right on. This is a question I like to ask pretty much every show, but how do you go about making your beer stand out? Like a certain IPA or
what makes Black Spruce versus?
Yeah, what do you do to make your beer different from all of the other IPAs and brews?
Yeah, I feel like at least in kind of regionally within Alaska, we've definitely set ourselves apart in our IPAs, and have just done a lot of trial and error as far as hopping techniques. So when we're adding the hops, certain hops that we like, pairing those with different yeasts that are going to add a little bit more flavor and uniqueness to it. I would say probably the biggest things for IPA is just like honing in on that process, and really trying to extract as much flavor and aroma out of as hops as we can. That's in the IPA front, and then locally we're kind of known as the more out there experimental brewery.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So as far as like our art and stuff is kind of in that vein. My brother does a lot of the label art, and then we've done a lot of different like adjuncted beers. So we had one on this summer. We do a pride beer every year with a local mixologist, Larry. Super awesome. And this year we did a strawberry, rhubarb, vanilla, graham cracker, sour.
Whoa, that's a lot. Yeah, that sounds amazing. I'm gonna say that actually sounds really good.
Yeah. So, and that one thing that sets us apart is we're not afraid to experiment and try stuff out.
I feel like that's a good thing for breweries. That you gotta have that experimental mindset to go out there and just make something that no one else is making. It's really cool though that you were mentioning you guys are kind of out there here in this area, because we were at Hoodoo and they have a very clean, very small beer list.
Yeah.
And they're all fantastic.
Yeah.
But we come in here and you guys have a much more broad spectrum.
Yeah.
And a lot more IPAs, so it's a very big contrast between one and the other. So if you like more IPA style beers, a lot more flavor, hops, like this is the spot to check out.
Yeah.
The other spot, a lot more easy to drink, cleaner beers. So yeah, I did notice the big difference between the two of you guys.
Yeah, we tried. We did a flight everywhere we went yesterday. We did like an IPA, a stout everywhere, and then whatever each place is kind of like an offshoot. Like, oh, we do a sour or a seltzer or whatever. We tried kind of that, and it was very interesting. This spot in particular, it was like, oh, let's try an IPA because we've done like an IPA everywhere, and it was like, whoa, this IPA's got a lot going on. It's different. It's so different than the last IPA. And then we got to the stout, and your guys' stout was like this journey of like the nose versus the mouth taste versus the aftertaste, and it was just
and
like
then the lingering aftertaste.
Yeah, just trying to find like it was very interesting. It was out of all the flights we tried, it was the most wow. There's not a like stamp of the same across anything.
Yeah,
it was very different. That sour is fire, by the way. I'm a very big like fruit, like I love that kind of stuff. So I love the sour.
Yeah, cool. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Look, you got some barrels over here. You guys gonna do any barrel aging, or is that for something else?
Aesthetic.
Yeah. Yeah. No, those are all filled with beer. So every winter we do a batch of Long Nights, or our Imperial Stout.
Okay.
And so we'll put that into 2 sets of barrels. Kind of have tried a little bit of everything. In previous years, we've done rum casks, we've done different whiskey, rye whiskey, wheat whiskey, we've done different bourbons. So we'll do 2 sets, and then we do a barley wine as well.
Oh.
Then we'll do 2 sets of barrels as well.
Okay. Trying it all, dude.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that kind of, from the outside looking in, as somebody like, I don't brew beer, but I've tried a lot of different ones, and we've been to a lot of places, and we've seen a lot of different things. Like, it is an art.
Yeah.
It is very much so an art form, especially when you talk to some owners are the brewers themselves. Some owners hire just very good brewers, and well, in your case, you do both, which is cool.
Yep.
So like, when you're the brewer and you talk to somebody who is a brewer and they want to get into the real nook and crannies of like, oh, I had it at this temperature for this many hours, and then I added this, and then I brought the temperature down 2 degrees for this many. We love hearing that stuff, and it's like, when you're the brewer yourself and you're that deep into the art form, it is very interesting and what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like heartwarming to hear and be like, yeah, dude, we're like constantly on the cusp of trying new things.
Yeah.
Rather than we found our 5 beers that everybody buys every time and likes, and that's what we got, baby. Which works. Like, you know what I mean? There are a lot of breweries that do that out there.
And it's a balance.
And it is a balance.
It's a balance.
If everybody was doing wacky, wild, different shit all the time, nobody would have a regular customer base. So it wouldn't work. But yeah, just being in here yesterday, the vibe, your staff, and then what we tried. We were very excited when we got the email from you, because it was like, we really wanted to sit down and kind of get the story from this specifically.
Cool, yeah. So happy to be here. Happy you guys are here.
Yeah, dude, cool. It's been a cool trip.
Fantastic trip. We still have a lot more to check out too. So I'm excited. We're actually sitting out with Hoodoo tonight.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear their story as well. How is your brewery connected to the local community?
So we do a lot of, and especially within the wider state, a lot of collaborative brews.
Nice.
So actually the one you're drinking is with Midnight Mine Brewing.
Okay.
They're 1 barrel nano brewery in the upper level of a dive bar downtown.
Hell yeah, dude.
Which, it's a cool
5
spot.
gallon buckets of beer, dude.
Yeah. And they're actually next door building out a 10-barrel brewery.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, Talon's been doing, he's the brewer owner there. So he's been doing Midnight Mine for a couple years and is kind of stepping up. Yeah. So really excited for them. So yeah, we do lots of collaborations. We actually have 2 that we've done with them up on the board right now. We've brewed with Lat 65, and then have brewed with other brewers around the state.
Nice.
So yeah, we try and be an open door.
Right.
Yeah.
And if anyone has questions, they're always welcome to reach out, and always happy to bounce ideas off of each other. And
that's cool.
We get the same treatment from everyone else around here, especially being this far north. Any ingredients we're shipping, we have to ship to Washington, Seattle area.
Right.
That gets on a barge. It takes a week.
Oh wow!
From the time it lands there to ship up here.
Wow. You gotta think ahead.
So yeah, you gotta think ahead. You gotta plan out your brews, and then if you don't have something, it's like, well, I'm brewing it tomorrow. I can't
not have
drive down to the warehouse and pick it up.
Right.
So everyone's super open. It's like, call up Bobby at Hoodoo. I'm like, do you have a bag of 2-row? He's like, oh yeah, no problem. Come down, grab it. We've
that's cool.
Got cans from them before, and passed these to other people, and
right on.
Very, very open community, kind of.
Yeah.
It's part of the whole Alaska thing. It's like you can't survive by yourself up here.
I like that.
It's a little too extreme. So.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, everyone's very, very open about.
That's awesome.
Sharing process knowledge, sharing ingredients.
Yeah, that's stuff that I love to hear, both as a community and like in the brewing community. We're from Southern Oregon, and it's very much like that there too. There's always collabs and helping each other out, and it's awesome. It's really cool. It's great hearing it. You said that you guys like to try a lot of stuff. Has there ever been something that, you had the idea like, oh, this would be interesting, you went through the process, you made it, and it blew your mind, and you were like, oh shit, we unlocked something here. Has there ever been like a product that you guys have done that you thought was like, this is a weird idea, and then it was like really good? Again, guy with the phone? It's his first story. Forgive me.
Sorry.
Yeah, actually one of our first mixed culture beers, and we did a lot of those when we first opened up, and now which is great, but struggling to keep up with production of like our clean stuff. And we were talking about earlier, it's like we've got the flagships, which people come in and expect. Some people come in and expect off the wall different things all the time. So growing pains right now. So eventually we want to get back into mixed culture stuff, but we did one. When I was in No Lie, we were right next door to Dry Fly Distilling. Okay. So we used to be able to drive the forklift around the Connex, grab barrels, bring them back around. There's still a couple gallons of whiskey in there. Pour that off for us. But so when we first opened up, we got a couple barrels from them, and we did this like sour Brett beer in a first fill triticale whiskey barrel. And I remember the first time we tapped that, I was just like, this is unreal. Oh, hell like not flavors that I typically see together, like the funky Brett with acidity with the barrel character. Yeah. But it just blew my mind. We had one barrel of it. Big hit, but it was just like.
But I mean, that's got to be inspiring for what's to come next.
Yeah.
Because it was like, this is going to be fucking interesting, and then it turns out really good, and so it's like, it's got to give some breath into like the next idea that's like, I'm not sure, let's do it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that's one that's like in the back here for when we have the time and the space to be like, we got to try this again. Because that was so good.
Listen up, okay. You mentioned cans. Are you guys canning, and are you guys being distributed right now?
Yep, yeah, so we do, we have a little Wild Goose one head filler, the Gosling. We got it sooner than we thought we were gonna get a canning line. Pandemic, that happened, nobody was going out, had to get our beer out to people. And we were filling crowlers.
Right.
And then that was nice somebody gets a crowler to go, but then when everyone was just getting to go, we're like, all right, we need to get something that's going to be better quality, easier.
Sure.
Can crank out some cans. Yeah, so we got that. So we can just about everything. Some things we'll can a little bit more of. Flagships and stuff. We'll always have those on. Other things a little bit less. And then we self-distribute. So there are some independent liquor stores in Fairbanks. We do mostly our flagships at those. And then once a month, we have a box truck, and we'll drive down to Anchorage.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, okay.
So you got some spots there to...
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah, between here and Anchorage, we have a handful of accounts. some draft, and then some of the liquor stores down there will bring a pallet of cans.
To sell alcohol up here, because we went to a mini mart last night and there was no beer. And we were like, hey, where's all your beer? And they were like, we don't have beer. We don't have a liquor license. And I was like, oh. Because like, the liquor store thing is different up here. Where we're from, you can't have a liquor store attached to any kind of other thing. So like here we went to Fred Meyer's and there's like a liquor store in Fred Meyer's.
Yeah.
So in Oregon you can't do that. It has to be its own separate, like it's got to be a liquor store. It can only be open between these hours. But everywhere else sells beer all the time.
Okay.
No issue. So when we were talking to Bobby over at Hoodoo, he was explaining the like 36-ounce limit, the 8 o'clock cutoff, the It is a little different vibes when we got to Hoodoo yesterday, and here, like you said, it was busy. But I was like, man, there's like no band, there's like no other stuff. What else do you have on tap that's not yours that you're like sharing? And then it's like learning that like, oh no.
No fun.
It don't work like that up here. So it's very interesting. Is it? I mean, I guess you being from here is probably not that hard. Is it hard to navigate some of the things that maybe you want your business to do and not be able to?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's. Definitely has been a learning process.
Sure.
Through different things, like even having First Fridays, so we would do First Friday with a local artist every month. And even for a while that was like a little tenuous as to whether or not we could actually do that, because is that considered entertainment? Because there's somebody set up here showing their art. It's like, is that an event? And so it was like trying to figure out those things with the Alcohol Beverage Control Board. Yeah, that kind of stuff has been tricky to figure out. First Fridays are just passive entertainment, so that's fine. But then as far as like, we had pretty sweet up at UAF, they we're doing like a lecture tour on cross-country skiing.
Okay.
And the like archaeology of cross-country skiing in Alaska.
So it's almost like an educational.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think of it as like going to a show.
Yeah.
But they were still like.
But we had to like call them up and we're like, hey, we're gonna have a projector. Whoa.
Look out.
With slides about archaeology.
They were like, as long as nobody enjoys themselves.
I want to see frowns in room. But it was like, you even have to like think about, okay, is a lecture, is that entertainment? I mean, I thought it was entertaining, but
for sure.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that kind of stuff is pretty wild. But yeah, next year the new liquor laws come into effect, so we'll be able to stay open until 9.
Nice.
Extra hour. Woo! In the land of the midnight sun. 1 more hour.
I know, that's another thing. It's light up here in the summer, like all night, all day.
Well, I mean, as somebody who I'm from Oregon. I've lived other places, but I'm from Oregon.
Yeah.
I'm very used to how things are done there. The only couple times I've stepped foot in this, in Alaska in any way is like usually just for like hunting or something. So I don't really get to experience the things like this. And so, yeah, going to Hoodoo, coming in here, and it just being like, I mean, everybody was still having a great time and smiling and drinking beer, and it's still great. But it was so weird because I'm so used to like every night there's a different band and there's a different. So like, I'm excited for you guys to be able to try to do that with your business. Help whether it's a music artist or like not have to worry about having artists come and exhibit things, and like that'll be huge.
And I think it's a testament to the fact that Alaskans love supporting Alaska businesses.
Yeah,
for sure.
And specifically breweries, that they're still willing to come out.
Right.
They have a 36-ounce limit, have to stop, having a beer at 8. They're still coming out in droves, supporting these local
Which
businesses.
is awesome.
Yeah,
and that's
so
what
awesome.
it was
it's amazing.
like. It was a little surprising.
Yeah.
Like when we went to a couple places yesterday and we learned that, because like we kind of asked Bob something about it. He's like, yeah, we're not allowed to do any of that shit. And I was like, what? Because I mean, where I come from, like you could be already shit-faced, smashed drunk, walk in with one shoe on it, 12 o'clock at night, and ask for an entire growler full of booze, and they'll give it to you. You know what I mean? So it's interesting what you guys have to work with, and the fact that you've made a successful place that people want to be and people want to try your beer. That's huge, dude. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the future for the brewery? What's your guys' future plans? You want to grow bigger? Are you just going to focus on being right here in the community? Like, what are you guys looking at?
We definitely want to stay in the community as much as we can. Having worked at some breweries that are more regional, bigger, once you start sending your beer far and wide, it becomes a lot more difficult to make sure that that beer is the quality that you want.
Right. Good point. Yeah.
And for us, part of it is like, you know, we've built this space as a community space where, you know, we love seeing groups of people come here, smiles on their face, drinking beers, hanging out. Like, that's what we want the most, you know.
That's
and
awesome.
then, and since we've opened, it's really been not pushing our beer out.
Right.
We want it to
It's more of
inviting
out. It's more about the invite of like, come down, try something, hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we grow, it's like we want, if the demand is there naturally, holistically, then, you know, we can fill that slowly. But we're not trying to go from, you know, 1,000 barrels to 10,000 barrels overnight.
Sure.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up for me. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. This has been a cool experience. I like the place. Like I said, the staff was awesome today. I talked about it 10 times. They were both like, because sometimes when you get approached by two dudes in matching outfits with a business card and a camera, people are kind of like, what the fuck? They were both like, I'm sure he'd love that. That's awesome. Here's some beer. What do you need from us?
I'm so glad you reached out, man. It's been fantastic.
Yep.
And hey, follow them on their social media. It'll be linked down below. And if you're up here in Fairbanks, stop by and grab yourself some beer. It's delicious. All of it's really good, man. And yeah, tell them Beverage Hunter sent you. Well, that's it for us here at Black Spruce Brewing in Fairbanks, Alaska. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers.
Hell yeah.